All right, Madison. Make sure you're working on this right now. We're going to be talking about adding and subtracting mixed numbers today. Make sure you're following along. All right, put it in the middle, open up your notebooks, the first page available. Who can read the title of today's lesson that's on the board with my handwriting? Nice and loud, cherish. Okay, we talked a little bit about mixed numbers yesterday. Who can describe what a mixed number looks like? What are the three parts of a mixed number? Josiah. What are the three parts of a mixed number? Leah?
The whole number is beginning with an denominator.
Right, exactly. So first of all, why are there so many little marks on here? Who keeps touching this when I'm not looking? So for a mixed number, over here, you have a whole number, you have the numerator and denominator. So you just have a whole number with a fraction behind that. Make sure you got that in your notes because that's what we're talking about today. Like I said, mixed numbers are part of fractions. You're going to get a lot of those in your assignments. It's probably one of the toughest parts of math is dealing with fractions. It's also one of the most fun. I think fractions are fun. But if you don't know how to do them, they're just frustrating. That's why we're going through this week. So let's go off one of your examples from your do now. Let's start with the first one. You got a 5 and 5/12 plus 4 11/12. All right. Josiah?
Wait, what would it do?
No. I don't even know why you raised your hand. I didn't say anything yet. So I like how you're getting ready. First of all, let's just add the 5 and the 9 because that's really easy. You just add 5 plus 9 with a strong silent hand. William, what is 5 plus 4? There you go. Now we have to get to this part. So I'm going to rewrite it. 5/12 plus 11/12 will equal. So now we need to figure out, Josiah?
Sorry.
But Josiah, since you're so ready to talk, which I appreciate, really do, what do we see that they have in common which makes this a lot easier?
The denominator.
Correct. So Braylon, if you add those two fractions together, because you can do that, the denominators are the same. No hard work, no big thought process. So Braylon, what's the new fraction? You got 9 and
16/12.
awesome. Now I know what London is thinking. She's looking at 16 twelfths. London is thinking to herself, that is an improper fraction. Which means you have to do some special stuff with it. And this special part right here, you're gonna have to kind of make sure that you pay attention because you're gonna have to change that fraction into a proper fraction, into another mixed number. So, Leah, how would you do that?
16 divided by 4.
Correct. You're going to take this, leave the 9 alone. So I got a really long text. Okay. So you leave the 9 alone. Don't touch the 9. We'll come back to the 9 in a little bit. This is a very common thing with mixed numbers when you add mixed numbers because you're going to obviously get a number on top that's probably going to be bigger. So how many groups of 12 are in 16? Well, I got a chair showing me with the finger. Destiny. There's just one group. There's one group of 12 in 16, which means then you go 16 minus 12, and you get, Cherish, 16 minus 12. There you go. 4. And you gotta put 4 over 12. Braylon?
Divide them by 2.
Right, Braylon's deciding to do this right away. He says we can reduce that fraction. I'm going to say, because of time's sake, bud, because I want to get into another example. Let's find its greatest common factor. What's the greatest common factor of 4 and 12? Braylon found the least, 2, because they're both even numbers, but what's their greatest, Taylor?
4.
4. So that means over here now, again, aside from my big handwriting, I gotta make sure the people online can see, which I still have 3 of them. You have 9 plus 1 and 1/3. What would your answer be? What would be the final countdown? To Josiah, Taylor, and Braylon. Zaria? Right. So 10 and 1/3. There's a lot of steps to get to that answer, which some people might be scared of, but that's why I like working with fractions so much, because there's a lot of steps. But in the end, you get the right answer, and that's a really good feeling once you get that right answer. Bring it back. 3, 2, 1. Putting hands in front on your desk, folded. Okay, so make sure that's in your notes. Example 2. My goal is to go through 2 addition and 2 subtraction, because your existing will be about subtraction. Let's go with one that I thought was pretty, and I'm sorry that all these have like reduction. Let's see. Oh, hear about this one. 1 3/9 plus 4 5/9. Amaya, what do they have in common right away? Yeah, they both have the same denominators. Okay. That's really good. Always got to see that, because if they have different denominators, then this is going to be a larger process. Lawrence, what's 1 plus 4?
5.
Yeah. Amaya told us that the denominator is 9. Now, what do you have to do? I want to tell me what you have to do, and then what would the answer be? Sydney, what do you have to do now, and then what's the answer? Right. Then what's the answer? Correct. Now, class, is that our final answer? Okay, well, let's go through it a little bit. So we got 8. The factors of 8 are 1, 8, 2, 4. So that make sure you get this in your notes. We have 9 right here. We got 1, 9, and 3. Because 3 times 3 equals 9. I see we got 1 in common. Do you see anything else we have in common? So when you see that they have nothing else in common other than just 1, because everyone has 1 in common. That's like saying everyone's got a shiny belt. I don't know why it's with you, 6th graders. Like yesterday, like 2 people had like really shiny belts. Now someone else has a really shiny belt. What's with shiny belts? Anyway, I can't get over it. It's just weird. Anywho, so what does that mean when you only have 1? That means that the answer is already in its lowest. Cherish?
Form.
Sorry, what?
Form.
Yep, lowest form. Perfect. So we can circle it and move on with our lives. That is how you check to make sure that your fraction is in lowest forms by looking at the factors, circling every single one they have in common, and then seeing that, oh, well, they don't have anything in common other than just 1. Make sure you get this all in your notes so that when I look at them, you get an A, rather just give you an A. 3, 2. Sample 3. Let's go through some subtraction. Because borrowing from a fraction is very interesting. Let's go with the first one on your problem because it's going to be super confusing. We got 6 and 10 twelfths minus 1 and 11 twelfths. All right, make sure that's in your notes. Because I wrote it on the board. Everything I write on the board needs to be in your notes. Cherish, what's up? You have a question? For the board? Well, Cherish, what would be the first step?
Subtract the 6 from the 1.
I can't yet, actually, hon. Can't, not yet. Can't do that yet. Leah?
No, she won't.
Can't flip the fraction.
Yeah.
Can't flip it. London? Can't add and then subtract. Josiah?
Fraction and 11.
No, I can't do that. Well, you could, but then there's a whole other process that I think is just way too confusing. Lawrence?
Subtract 6 and 1.
No. Because you're going to need the 6 and the 1 in a little bit. Taylor?
Oh.
You guys want me to just go through? No, I want to have to go through it with you real quick. Braylon?
you find a greatest common factor? No.
No.
And
Lawrence,
so do you have to cross off the 6?
make sure your head is up.
And add a 12, 12.
Not quite. All right, we gotta go long because of time. One thing you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to borrow. Now you're asking yourself, how in the world do you borrow from a fraction? What you're gonna have to do, and Leia will probably get this right away because she looks like she has it. You're gonna cross out the 6, write a 5, like normal. And then I'm gonna do it like this down here. You're gonna take 10 over 12. You're gonna add, you just took one whole chunk of 5. Or one of the whole chunks from 6. So that's like if you have the little chocolate bars with the squares on them, you just rip one off. That's what you're doing right here. When you take off one of those whole pieces, you're taking off a whole piece. So the fraction you're going to add to the 10/12 is whatever the denominator is. So it's going to be 12 over 12. Because if you reduce 12 over 12, Josiah, what do you get? You get one whole, you add it back to the 5, you get the 6. That's working backwards. So that's why we take 12 over 12, because it needs to equal one of the whole pieces. So now what's our new fraction? Our new mixed number? Natalie? Mm-hmm. So it'll be 5 and 22 twelfths minus 1 and 11 twelfths. Now you just do everything like normal. So what is our new mixed number? I'm asking you to solve the whole thing right off the bat.
11, 10.
Take 5 minus 1, 0.2 minus 11. And give these 3 people payment. Where's Cherish's name? Where's Natalie's name? I want to choose Sarah.
11, 10. 11, 20.
Not 5 and 11 20.
No, 4.
4 and
11.
so that'll be Braylon.
It's counting.
Oh, that's fine. Life happens. Any questions on how we got to that? Okay. One more example, then you'll get your exit ticket. Example 4. Taylor?
Can I say one?
Do you want to choose one?
Yeah.
No. Because I want to choose one so we can practice something else. Because for tomorrow, I'm going to give you a skill practice sheet that'll be due on what we're about to do right. Why did I write plus? I'm sorry about that, boys and girls. Good thing you're using pencils and not pens. Meant to write it minus. All right, so this one's pretty simple. You just take 7 minus 2, you get 5 and 5/11ths. But I want to show you a different way to find the answer, because the skill practice sheet will have you change mixed numbers into improper fractions, and then mix improper fractions into mixed numbers. I want to make sure you understand how to do that. So before we answer this easy to do problem, fact, I mean, you're gonna write the answer here so we can check it at the end. Or, no, never mind, I'm not gonna do that. I miswrote something right off the bat, that's just a bad sign. We need to change 8 and 7/11 into an improper fraction, which means the top numerator is larger than the denominator. How do you do that? I know some of you, we did this last year, so if you're here from last year, you should remember. We've also had a couple videos on it this a couple lessons ago. Daria? Do you say 8 times 11 plus 7? Yes! Wow, my voice went really high. Don't know why it went that high. But she is right. You're going to take 8 times 11 and then add 7 to it. And then you just put it over 11. Because 11 is the denominator. So, first of all, what's 8 times 7? Lawrence? I mean, not Lawrence, Braylon?
56.
What's 8 times 11?
88.
Okay. Plus 7. 88 plus 7 is, Lawrence?
95.
So you write this as 95 over 11 minus gotta change this one to an improper fraction as well. Taylor?
Minus 3 and 2/12.
3 and 2/12. Remember, you gotta take 3 times 11, which is 33, plus 2, which is 35, over 11. What's your fraction? Your improper fraction, what is it? 95 minus 35 is? Josiah?
60.
Yes, this is 5/11. Let's see if we get a matching answer. How do we change 60 over 11 into a mixed number? Because now we got to change it back to a mixed number. You can't leave it as an improper fraction. How do we change it back? Back to the past, Jack. Samurai Jack. Lawrence?
Divide 11 with 60.
Okay. How many groups of 11 are in 60? Well, 1 times 11 is 11. 2 times 11 is 22, 33, 44. Cherish?
5.
There'd be 5. Natalie, what is 60 minus 55?
50.
It'll be 5. Borrow. 5, 10. Okay. Then, Braylon, how would you write your fraction?
5, you take that 5 from the bottom, put it on top as a numerator, then take the 11 as a denominator.
So as you can see, we got the same exact answer 2 different ways. One we did in our head, pretty simple. Other way, you make it into something else. We need to make sure that you know what to do on your skill practice sheet. So if you don't know what to do on your assignment, skill practice, or your exit ticket, look back here. There's 2 ways to do it. Capiche?
5.
All right, any questions before I hand out your exit ticket? All right, that means bring it back. Put your notebook to the side. Make sure this is your exit ticket that you need to work on. Pencil above your head. London, 3. 2, 1. That's weird instruction, you know, follow instructions and pay attention. Push your pencil over there. Push your pencil. Over there. Wiggle over there. Ready. Set. Go.